All right, welcome, welcome, welcome. It's Talk Lately, and it is May the 5th. I'm joined with a panel of people. Well, we got a good show for you tonight. We got a lot to talk about involving Corona, involving cruise ships, involving proofreading, involving um, Maryland, Barack and Michelle Obama, Congress. We're going to get through a whole host of stuff tonight, I promise. Well, I can't even make that promise because we never do. It's just impossible to talk about all this stuff in an hour and a half. So I'm joined here with Aldo, our engineer, the Big Source Radio's engineer, Naya, then we have Lasha, then we have Lindsay Marie on the phone. Nate is lost in some cloud. I don't get it. Because everybody would throw a fit if I'm late to their show. You know what I'm saying? Um, all right, let's get started. Because, like I said, I got a lot of clicking to do over here. But we're going to work this out and keep it moving. So, let's start with my proofread thing. Right now, you guys don't have this image in front of your screens because I don't know how to get it to show over here as well as over here. But I'm showing the letter. Have you all got your stimulus checks yet?
Yes.
Yes.
Not yet.
Okay.
I'm still
You
waiting.
registered for it
They said it
though?
was released, but it hasn't gone to the bank yet.
Okay, but you did direct deposit.
Right.
Okay. Lasha?
Yes.
Okay.
Direct deposit.
So that's a consensus. Everybody's got it. Did y'all get this letter in the mail from the White House?
I did not.
No.
Okay. I got this
Not
letter.
yet.
I got one.
I
It's
got
probably like a week after I got my stimulus deposit. And it's just a letter from you know who. And what's funny about this is that this person marked this up. I don't know if I can't even show it to you like really well. But this teacher marked this up for the grammatical errors in it and all of the issues with this.
Oh, please back it up a little bit.
Wow.
Oh
That's a lot.
no.
It's a
I
lot.
got my
So clearly, not only are they inept, but they're just not right. I didn't even read my letter. I just balled it up and threw it in the trash because I don't need you to tell me that you're giving me back my tax money. I don't need you to do that for me.
right.
So I can't even read none of the it's teacher's handwriting, so it says stuff in the corners, it's stuff all in the margins of the letter. It's just hilarious to me that they took the time. But there's a grade too. I don't know if you can see the grade.
Is that an F?
It's
Mm.
the F.
A big
Thank
F
you,
too.
teacher. Whoever the teacher was, thank you very much. I appreciate it because somebody needs
Oh,
to tell them because nobody else is going to do this. I
F.
was I was I was shocked and I was amazed and I was like gracious reading all these errors because I didn't read the letter. I just threw it away because I don't want nothing in my house that pertains to him. Nothing at all.
But
Bad enough
it
he's
was
on my
so
TV
rushed.
every damn second. What'd you say, Naya?
I said this was a rush that they just did, so they just threw up right up and then just sent it out.
Right. Only
You
because
could
he
at least
wanted.
use
That's
But
the
Grammarly.
thing.
that's where,
Grammarly works. You can click a
Oh
button.
my
Grammarly will
yeah,
gosh.
it
correct
does.
it.
I have Grammarly on
Absolutely.
everything. And
It
it's so
reminds me of
interesting. It's only
Facebook.
because the controversy was about first they wanted him to have his name on everything,
Yes.
including your deposit. But that was
Yes.
impossible for them to say this deposit was going to coming from Donald Trump when it was coming from the US Treasury. But
Right.
he wanted you to have something with that name on it. And I don't want it.
That's ridiculous.
Oh wow.
And I don't
I
want
did
it.
the
I
I
don't
looked
want
at
You
it.
know, Naya,
yes.
we both know about grammatical errors. We know about
Most
that on Facebook. When people go on Facebook and be serious as hell and can't spell.
They be trying to cut out and everything is wrong. They spell the
Yeah.
can't body out and use words if you don't spell them or
Yeah.
know the meaning.
Naya, what kind of phone are you on today? Because I'm gonna need for you to go find somebody with a real phone.
Fool,
Because I
That's
can't
your
keep
friend
talking to
Naya.
you with this Dixie cup and a string.
I claim her. She mine.
Money.
Last week you were on something totally different. It was giving us everything from you. Today it's just giving us every other word.
Mon- Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Maybe if you get closer.
It could be where she is in her house.
But she was in the same spot as last week.
Oh,
I remember that bed.
it just see. I'm gonna need you to stop, Money.
I do. It was there. I seen it.
Serious as hell.
Sorry, hold on. I told you
Hey,
press the
Money,
buttons.
you got subtitles?
Hey,
Is that how you feel?
thank you. I did a lot of stuff over this past weekend
You have stuff.
because I'm trying to work with Facebook on. You talking about the closed captions?
Yes.
I know. I didn't. I never even noticed that before until this week.
That is
That
so
they've been closed
fun.
captioning the broadcast for the hearing impaired. I appreciate that.
Okay. They really COVID ready. Okay.
So, all right, staying with the stimulus stuff because that's what this letter was about, the stimulus checks. Do you believe? Here's a question to the panel: do you believe that we would get another one?
Yes.
Who said yes? That was Lindsay.
Yes. I think we will.
Lasha, I see you
I
shaking
think
your head no, so no.
Yeah, no, I don't think. I think that was a one-time thing. Just a one-time courtesy.
Aldo?
Nah.
If we are out of work any longer, yes, they're gonna have to.
Who do you think it's going to come
But-
from? Do you think it's going to come from the federal government? Is it just leading on that you think yes? You think it's going to come from the federal government, or you think it's going to come from the state of Maryland? Because other places are opening, so.
I think the federal government.
I think the federal
I
government
feel
too.
like because Trump has been so adamant about opening up the economy, I believe that he is. First of all, they don't have no money. Okay, so number one, they can't afford to do it. I don't know. Well, I know how they did it this time, but they just can't afford to do it. And the fact that he has been adamant about everybody going back to business as usual, he is now going to defer everything over to the individual states. And if we do get issued some kind of stimulus, it's going to come from state budget. It's not going to come from the federal government.
I agree with that. I actually don't think we're going to get anything. If anything, they'll probably
I agree with that.
they'll probably do. If anything, they'll probably start in the state. They'll probably start delivering food to residences. I don't think they're going to give us any money because the state is actually almost broke.
Yeah.
And they do put any cash. So,
Mm. I'm gonna put water on this. You see what this is? You see what it is?
Yeah.
Naya, you see this?
A blanket.
It's a blanket. I'm gonna wet it and just throw it over you.
Wet blanket.
Cause I
Wow.
swear I'm sorry. No, I'm not gonna do that no more. I couldn't hear a word you said just now.
who, me?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking with me.
I'm on point today, sis.
Do you have a house
I
phone,
said-
Naya?
Going to give us half.
Oh, half, like $600.
Yes.
Did you? So you got yours now because last
Yeah.
week you didn't have yours, Naya. So you got it
had
now.
it, but I just half of it. They didn't give me for my kids.
Oh, so who you talking to about it?
Oh.
Everybody closed. I don't know who to talk to about it.
You got to
No,
call
you
the
have to go
Treasury. You had to
online.
call the Treasury or the IRS.
Yeah. And you need to do it quicker
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
there's a deadline. I believe the deadline is the deadline the 15th or something. It's soon. So you need to go to
Oh.
the IRS website and
hmm
submit that because if you don't, then you won't get it.
How did they only send you 600? Like they was just sending you the rest of the money that was left. I mean, the rule was 1,200. So how do you miss type
Right. You
one
should've got
two zero
1,200
zero?
plus 500 for each child.
And if right.
I didn't get the kids part.
Right.
So you got 1,200, but you didn't get the 500 for the kids.
but I didn't get my kids.
Yeah, you need to call them because they don't believe you got kids. They don't
Okay.
believe you. They need evidence. He said you need more people. Literally. Where do I want to go with this? So, oh, I did have notes. Hold on. Sorry. The reason why I brought that question up too is because the stimulus. Because now that Congress is back in the patterns before Corona, where they're fighting with the president again. Just recently, you know, they're already, the White House is already saying they're not going to allow Dr. Fauci to go to Congress and testify. Only he's going to be able to testify in front of the Senate and not the House of Representatives. So, which means to me is, because I don't understand how they work this out, because I don't think the first stimulus should have passed, even though we needed it. Because I posted today on Facebook and said that I don't know why they didn't put inside of the bill for the stimulus, because the stimulus was all related to COVID-19, that you are mandated to testify before this committee because of this money. And that is a stipulation that you cannot get over, because then if you do try to say that Dr. Fauci could not come after you agree to this mandate and you sign this into law, then we go to court. Because they have no case right now. He doesn't have to send anybody to Congress. They've already fixed that problem. I mean, so where we go from here? Like, that's why I said the next bill, I don't think the next bill could even possibly happen, because I'm not going to give you the rights to any more money if you're not going to follow the rules and send people to testify, because we are the Congress. We have oversight. It's not even, I just don't understand, like, how we like, every day we see this stuff about, I'm not sending nobody to Congress, I don't care about your subpoenas and all this other kind of stuff. And then we let it slide. Like, here we are 5 months later from after the trial, and we're still talking about him sending people to testify before Congress. Where do we start to say, okay, enough is enough. We got to stop this crap. You need to send people to Congress. Who's saying it? And why are we all not up in an uproar? Is it that we don't care? Is it that we just don't want to do it? Or what? I mean, because enough is enough. I can't wait for November.
Most people aren't as informed as you are as to what the issues are.
And that's why I do this. That's why the show is called Talk Lately. That's exactly why it's called Talk Lately, because we need to be talking about this.
Right.
Absolutely.
I don't understand why, like, you know, it took all those people in Wisconsin to go, in Michigan to, like, I don't even understand how that happened, but they got themselves together, even though they grabbed guns and shit and went over there. But they went.
Oh, look who's coming.
Okay, here comes Nate. Finally.
No good.
But,
hey, Nate.
Hi,
but
Nate.
the point is that they went, they were upholding their rights to protest and went down to their state building and held a sit-in. We don't do that no more because we think social media is the end-all be-all, that social media is the way to do it. When you're a person with physical parts.
But you know, if it had been one of us, it would have gone down differently.
Not if it's enough of us. And it's not just us. It's not just us black folk. Yeah, I agree. If it was just us black folks storming the White House, it would have totally different.
With guns?
I leave the guns at home. I don't do guns.
Yeah, I don't do guns either, but it would have been a massacre that day if we had done what they did.
Because it's not just us. It is us that's being mostly affected by the COVID, but it's not just us. It's a lot of people that this is affecting, that we can't get stuff done in our country. And this is now 3.5 years later, and we're still not getting anything done.
Because we don't have money.
Right. We do have money if we overwhelmingly get together and create this process, because I don't know what it's going to take for us to start. Because it's clear that none of us, now I'm going to let you guys speak for yourself, but none of us really give a damn about this Constitution. Think about it.
Yeah.
Think about
To
it.
be honest, I don't.
I wish this was tea.
Nate,
Mm.
why'd you even turn
Most
your
of us
camera
don't
on?
know what is in the Constitution, Monica.
My point
So
exactly. My point
Right. That's
exactly.
why I said people aren't informed.
Mm-hmm.
They're not as informed as you are. They don't
The
read.
one things that you always know that you can always count on anybody knowing about the Constitution is freedom of speech and the right to own a gun.
Yes, right to bear arms.
okay.
But you don't know about the part about that's in the Constitution where the Congress has oversight.
I learned that in social studies.
You know, a lot of people don't know what the Supreme Court does. That they have
They taught
final.
that in social studies.
They
They
have.
taught that in our
I
social
know, but
studies.
a lot of people don't remember that. We all took the citizenship. They don't do that. You know, they don't.
We
They don't
did.
hold on to that kind of stuff. We took citizenship tests, and
Well,
we
it's
thought we
because
were
we don't feel
citizens
like
afterwards.
we don't feel like citizens.
Right.
Most
After
of
the
us
citizenship test, everybody in school thought they were grown and were citizens. You really weren't, but you felt like it.
No, it doesn't work that way. So no, but it's a sad state of affairs.
After the citizenship. Sorry. I need to make sure my comments were up. So, Nate, since you're just joining,
Hola.
how about your feelings on the Constitution? What do you know about it? Let's ask that question. Is it just those three things, or
First of all,
Phil, not that you don't know about the Constitution, more so, what do you, off the top of your head, what do you remember about the Constitution?
I mean, from it's hard for me to kind of answer that question because for me, I took social studies and I took a lot of those classes all throughout school and college, and I never felt like what it was explaining was for me. Because I knew the history behind that, and I knew, like, my ancestors were not included necessarily in the rights portion of that. So I've never felt like it's never been amended or updated to include people of color or other foreigners. So I've never really believed in it. I've tried to be a citizen and do the things I'm supposed to do that are included in it, but I've never felt. I feel like a foreigner. Like I feel like I have the same amount of rights as somebody coming from another country right now, which are limited.
That makes sense. That's not a
Well,
bad
they
way to
actually have
see
more
it.
rights than we do, which is crazy. But
Aldo, same question.
Repeat the question again because you were fading in and out.
Oh no, I wasn't. That was you.
Okay, well, it was me. Thank you very much, Monty.
So, what do you recall off the top of your head without having to go look for that little tiny book that I still can't seem to find, and I'm not buying one, about the Constitution?
Well, one thing I remember is the right to bear arms, even though we don't have that right in a sense, like Nate indicated.
Just thinking about that. But do you think that's being misconstrued? I mean, because we can't ask the founding father what they thought about what they really meant about that right to bear arms thing. Because no one, I mean, unless you got more than 30 people informing a militia, I don't think that's how that read. That you have the right to bear arms.
Yeah. Well, I think it should be reevaluated. It should have been reevaluated a long time ago. You know, because we do. I mean, you look at it. You're protecting your property. You know, you have all these state mandates to say that you can carry a gun, but yet you have. You know, you look at it. It kind of defeats the purpose. It's like, well, where do I fit in? You know, does this pertain to me? Because at that point in time when they made these bills, actually we weren't even in the loop. So I think it should be reevaluated in a sense.
What else you remember then?
other than the right to bear arms, the First Amendment, which would be freedom of speech.
Mm-hmm. So that was one and two.
I don't think we have that, even though you do a remarkable job, mind you. But I don't think we have that.
I try. Lasha, did I ask you already? I think I got to you already, didn't
No, I'm Googling the Constitution summary.
I?
We
You might want to go check
in order to form a more perfect union.
I felt like the test was coming.
He
All
said,
right, well,
don't Google it.
Well, no.
I wasn't here when he
Throw
said
one
it.
out there that no one would know off the top of their head. I mean, no, use your Google thing because you was looking at it. I mean, because throw one out there that's something that would actually surprise people that really didn't know, or they would, or it would remind them of it.
Okay. Wait.
Well, while she's doing it now, you go ahead. Go.
Oh.
Basically what everybody said, like I feel like 2020 it needs to be reevaluated, and I think a lot of things are geared to not our race, about the rights to bear arms. Even being a black man, just protecting his property and protecting himself, he's not protected under that Constitution. You know what I mean? 'Cause
Right.
they're so quick to want to fight or judge or kill or lock up a black man or even a black woman if she has a gun as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's not protective towards us, to be honest with you. And I feel like it's 2020. It's time to reevaluate and change some things.
Mm-hmm.
We're not equal like they say we are, but we're really not. So yeah, I just feel like it needs to be reevaluated, to be honest. But the only thing I really remember is the freedom of speech, which we have, but we don't have. I just feel like depending on who you are and the status that you have, the level that you are in the world, you have freedom of speech, but then again, you don't.
Mm-hmm.
I don't necessarily think it needs to be reevaluated. It just needs to be enforced. I mean, the
It needs to be
Constitution
defined. Especially that Second
Really?
Amendment. That Second Amendment needs to be defined.
The militia.
The militia.
Okay.
Yeah.
So true, but then again, not really. Not really. I
Well,
think
individual
that
houses, if you have a gun, if I don't have a gun, you have a gun next door to me, they have a gun next door to me. This is not a militia. I don't know these people.
Sure, but
Right.
but the idea behind the institution of the militia is so that we develop community and network together. So the idea is, if all of the KKK were to decide that they were going to form a militia and come in and start trying to take control, we as the people need to develop a group of people that we can connect to.
Right, but then that's when you buy the guns, when you form the militia. You individually do not
right.
equal a militia.
Well, we have that in a sense.
Say that
Because
again.
something new, if it's something new, people are not really receptive to this, so they're going to be quick to try to kill it off or stop it before it even gets started.
But it's not necessarily new. We've had the Black Panther Party. We had back before.
Right, but that's something you would
father was
consider.
black.
That's something you would consider a militia.
Exactly.
But you next door to me
could
having a gun by your lonesome is not a
And
militia.
they were,
have been.
if I'm not mistaken, go ahead.
It could have been
Grassy.
or become a militia if the need presented itself. The
Right.
organization
But then-
was formed
then-
enough, and
but
this is
then-
why they were afraid of the Black Panther
Right.
Party.
But then, do you think that if you
Right.
are in a militia, shouldn't your weapons be held at your militia's camp and not next door to me?
But see, y'all not taking into consideration the idea of a militia was
No, it's
like
not an idea. It's a definition. It has a definition. It's not an idea. A military force that is raised from a
I'm
civil
saying,
population.
I mean, but what you're defining
Mhm.
and what you know it to be today are two different things. That was at the very beginning of us having any type of collective army. So that's what that was in reference to. We were the army. I mean, in essence, we are still now, but now we have an organized army or system
Military, right?
that protects our country. At that point, you would have been said, come on, get your gun, and you get your gun, and we go get you some uniforms, and this is our protection.
But even
But
during those times, there were rules against you using your military force against your population, your own citizens.
because there was no,
And now
there was
that's
no army,
changing. That
there was
seems
no
to be
Army, Navy, Marines at the time, so we had
right.
to have those rules, so we wouldn't just take over. So your neighbor couldn't just take over your whole block
Hmm.
and take command of that. That's why those rules. But now we have a system that's long-standing, that's in place, that is a given. You can't do those things now. But
But there
I
are
think the
times.
laws are outdated and they need to be updated to where we are now. So those things are clearly defined and not just, you know, from back then. It needs to be updated. I don't think it needs to be changed. But like even for us, we're considered property. That needs to be
Yeah.
changed
Yes.
Yeah.
in that system. It's only been amended, but it's not an actual law that we are not to be ever enslaving it. And it actually
Right,
went out
right.
a couple of years ago. So we could, in essence, be back at that moment again. So I think
No,
things need to be
you
updated,
could.
not necessarily
Not gonna
changed.
happen again.
You
But
could.
updated.
They had to catch me.
And if I'm not mistaken,
You're gonna
at
be
one time,
underwater.
in the beginning of the
And
Black
the
Panther
water.
Party, they were bearing arms because
Mhm.
they made the statement they had the right to bear arms.
Right.
So they were considered, in a sense, a militia. But unfortunately, the fears of America at that time, they said, no, you can't have it. It's
Right.
against your constitutional right to have it.
And realistically, they weren't a militia. It was a community of
Right.
people that invoked their civil rights to bear arms. The
Right.
government put the stipulation that they were considered to be a militia in the military because of the fear that the government had over a group of minorities actually starting to rise up in their power. The problem that we have in America is that we allow the government to stifle the power that we really have because we don't recognize what will happen if we do collectively come together. We don't
Right.
have to operate a whole military, but if we start to
No.
learn our rights and start to work together as a community, and this is not just a black-white thing, this is just we the people, outside of the whole being less of a man as the original Constitution stated, just us being a group of people. We don't have to wait for the government to update the Constitution for us to invoke our rights. We just need to start to learn those rights and then put them into action. Then the government won't have all the power that we allow them to have.
Well, I think in essence, their power would pretty much stay the same, but the power, the overall power comes from the citizens, and that's the part that we don't get. And the stipulation has been us voting the individuals in that do possess that power. But what happens is once people get that power, they negate the people who got them there. And
Right.
we get
Mhm.
ultimately have say. We can sign a petition. The whole idea of a petition is to overthrow a corrupt power source. And we get lazy and we like, well, I voted that person and I did what I was supposed to do. Or we don't trust the government, so we don't even care about who's in power. And it's really, like you're saying, Lasha, it's really us negating our own power. The power is we hold it. As consumers, as citizens, we hold that power. But we allow other people to trick us. Like the whole idea of them doing this whole campaigning is for nothing. They're wasting money. It's really for nothing, and it's to get us. And they wouldn't be doing that if we didn't possess that power. They would be trying to get the black vote. We didn't have that type of power because then they wouldn't need us. They would just get themselves elected and do what they have to do. But we have to go through that system of checks and balances to be able to realize we always have the power, but we just keep using it today or not using it. Monty?
Oh, no, I'm here. I'm sorry. I was turning my camera back on. I guess we exhausted that issue. We can move on. No, I was listening. That was deep. That's why I let you guys go. But I was trying to share the show out and stuff, and I didn't want to be leaned all over like this.
Oh, is that what you were doing?
All right, so let's move on to that was a great conversation. Please comment along with us, everybody that's joining in. I see a lot of people that's getting on Facebook, and we'd love to know your opinion about that. That was people that I mean, I especially want to know out there in the general populace that, what don't you know about the Constitution? What would you like to learn more about? Because I will do a special show on the Constitution. We can go bullet from bullet and try to
Oh,
get some
that'd be
good
great.
I
definitions
think
on
that's
this.
Great.
exactly what you
Because
need
this is a learning experience that we do here. We're talking lately, and it's a community of people in a panel.
to do.
And all right, so there was this video that was on Facebook that I just wanted to ask everybody about, and I think Nicole, my other producer, sent it to me, and it was supposedly in China where they were burning pigs alive.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
I
Pigs.
haven't heard anything about that.
The video is it's like millions and millions and millions of pigs that they. I mean, I. So my question is do you think that was the way to go?
What was their reason for burning the pig?
Because that's where they think that the coronavirus came from, a bat and a pig.
Yeah, they said they were affected with the coronavirus.
And that's how they
Oh,
got
wow.
fed. They were being fed that pig in the Wuhan market.
I mean, they could have euthanized. I mean, they euthanized them, but they could have did it a different way.
Yeah, but see, they just kill. I think their logic was that let's just kill them all and get brand new fresh pigs. But that's just like so inhumane to me, seeing as though they got
Yeah.
that, especially since they got, pigs got that pink flesh that looks human skinish.
Yes.
I-
And it was when I tell you it was millions and millions of pigs. They like dug a hole
Yeah, well,
and
I have a
put
You
them
making
in
me
there
have
alive
flashbacks to
and
Charlotte's Web.
set them
yeah,
on
they
fire.
herded them all in.
And
So
set
you-
them on fire.
So if you have an animal that has coronavirus and you cook it, you can still get coronavirus?
Right. Correct.
Okay.
So heat doesn't kill it.
No.
Right. Okay.
So
Heat
what was the
doesn't kill
purpose
it
of-
when it's when it's viral. Heat doesn't kill it when it's viral. When it's intern, when you ingest it.
Okay, so if that's the case, then the pigs that would still be, in layman terms, infected, right?
Right.
Because they've been
Which
cooked.
is why they had to kill them.
Right, which is why they just took the step to kill them.
And I mean, but then you also need to consider the fact that the process by which they chose to kill them could also contaminate those people that were interacting with them as well. So
That's
if
what
they
I'm
felt that
thinking.
they're- Yeah, that was the quickest, easiest, safest way to get rid of them. I mean, that's a lot of ham hocks. I could have put them in my greens.
Right, I'm thinking ribs, I'm thinking Charlotte's Web right
Oh my
there.
gosh, I was thinking about too. I was thinking about that too. Oh my
When I
gosh,
first
and I ain't
saw
no
the
barbecue
video, I
sauce,
saw it with no sound,
and I don't have any barbecue
and I was
sauce.
like, that got to be the biggest barbecue ever.
That's what Nicole said. She said, "I know them people are smelling a barbecue for days."
Yeah.
I'm glad I didn't see that. So that's sad.
I'm gonna push the video into our group if they didn't take it down. That was the fear that it was gonna get taken down because I guess they didn't want nobody to see that happening. But it was like droves. They was just like pouring. I mean, like it was like it's inhumane. I was like, I wonder if PETA seen this video. They like dug a big hole in the ground. It was like a long ditch.
It was a trench.
A trench. And they were just bringing them by the truckload, dumping them into the trench alive. And then I guess they put gasoline on them, and then they lit a match and threw it in there on them. And all you heard was screaming pigs.
They actually had like a backhoe. Was it a backhoe that they had that was kind of like this pushing them in the hole?
See, I'm not going to put that on my my broadcast because I have the video right here, but I'm not going to put it on my broadcast.
Thank you for sparing me the image.
No, you don't. That's why it's only going flying around through inboxes and not being like a post.
But are we supposed to be upset that they killed the pig?
I feel upset because it's kind of inhumane, but I'm not upset because if they were but I'm upset because they don't know if they were infected or not. Not all of them.
Right.
That's why I'm upset.
They're not going to waste their time testing them. They don't even want to test
But they're not going to waste their time testing them. That's the thing. Yeah.
Because you wanted to use them for bacon. Is that where we?
This is what I was about to say. I was about to say, I just hope they don't pull the aftermath out and then try to put it in the market. I ain't going to H Mart no time soon.
Please don't. Please don't.
Nah.
I can't stand the smell inside of there, so I wouldn't go there either
What
way.
you thinking is?
It smells like Wutan Market.
I was just confused at the animal rights issue in it.
Peter
Peter.
didn't have anything to say?
That's what I was wondering. Did they even see this video? Do they even know this is happening? Because it's China. Peter, what you can say over there, Peter? Peter can't say
Well,
nothing about China.
I've dealt with PETA before when I was working with Rose with the Hollywood division, because they have a Hollywood division, a media division for recording artists.
Mm-hmm.
And we had sent them footage of the bunnies being furred, their fur coming off. And they sent me and Rose a care package of shirts, that had anti-fur symbolism on them. We did a photo shoot with the shirt. I'm surprised
cool.
PETA hasn't gotten involved. I could make a phone call.
I'm just saying,
and let them
even
know.
if they got involved, it's still the government of China. They have no jurisdiction.
I'm not messing with China. China
has a pollution level that's killing their own people. So it's
China.
They really don't give a damn what PETA has to say.
But then again, you gotta look at it. We don't know how old this video is.
That's true, and they also, China feels the same way that Phillips Seafood and that other place, Jimmy's, feels about PETA.
Right.
Yeah.
Part of that diet.
We're gonna eat these crabs.
Mm-hmm.
I understand the portion that they may have killed them off, allegedly killed them off, and they didn't know it. They didn't test each one of them. And I have a problem because then if they think black people have it, they're going to start killing us. But I understand that concept, but just...
Oh, that was a good one.
Exactly.
How you tried to blend that together. I like that. What was that again? How black people keep contracting it like the pigs? How dare you?
Well, because you brought up they didn't test... allegedly, they didn't test these pigs.
How dare you compare me to a pig, though? Let's talk about that for a second. Hold on.
Well, who's to say that the new pigs don't have the corona?
Right.
Exactly.
Like, getting their new pigs from it. Now, how did the pigs get it? Like, I would want them to do the research before they start killing things off, but I'm really not upset that they killed the pig. They were doing
I'm
that.
not either. I mean, I moved on with my life. But to talk about it today, but I'm not going to weep. I'm not weeping tonight over bacon.
My heart hurts just a little bit.
It got me in the heart when I watched it yesterday. And
No,
when you
I'm
hear
not
the
talking
video,
about that.
when you hear the video of these pigs screaming,
No.
Yeah. I think that's what did it.
It does get you. It didn't get me enough to go out and say, I'm going to go save all these pigs. It didn't make me feel that way.
But do you hear them the squeals when you cooking your bacon or your ham hock?
I kinda do, but I tone it
Oh,
out
I
when
hear
I'm hungry.
Okay.
It's some sizzle.
It just puzzles me that people care about animals more than they do human safety, and I know that's selfish to even say, because
It's true.
But I think it's the same thing, same way around. I mean, it's all the way around. I care about everything, really, but but there's certain levels to it. Am I going to go out and fight for it?
Okay.
Right.
That's the difference.
Right.
Yeah.
No.
So are we? So we're not fighting for the pigs, right?
No, I just wanted to hear your opinion.
I don't eat pork. Yeah.
I'm still in quarantine.
Listen, my Navy beans
Me
is delicious
too.
yesterday with the ham hock. You hear me? My
See,
grandma was
the only thing about it is that I don't even cook with pork anymore. I'll eat bacon. I do have a pack of. No, I don't have any bacon. I need to go to the market, but I don't cook with pork anymore. I do smoked turkey and things like that. But even still, if you could just reverse the and put turkeys with pigs, that's the same difference, really.
Well, did you hear about the chickens that got killed?
Well, they're killing chickens. They're killing cows now.
They throwing away milk.
They're pouring all that milk away, so because people don't really understand the process of the milk process, and I think we talked about this on a past talk lately, on how they make these cows go through pregnancy to produce milk, because that's not a natural phenomenon. They don't just produce milk every day.
Right.
They have to be pregnant and fertile to produce milk.
Okay. And
So that process is like really grueling on a cow. I mean, I'm just throwing the animal stuff out there at this point. But I'm just saying we put up with a lot. Just like you said, we put up with a lot of stuff every day just so we can eat.
And half the stuff we're not even supposed to be eating. It's
Like
not
cow
even-
milk. Like cow milk.
Yeah. Like
That's
pork.
why he called me a pig.
That is, he did not call you a pig.
That one over there.
In the middle,
Mm.
right in the middle.
Oh, he
Straight
right
up.
there. He right there. He just called me a pig.
He
that's,
did not.
that's
All
But
right,
then
I just-
again, I still say you don't know how old this video is either.
yeah. I mean, but I think it's the same thing that happens every day. Once a pig gets too old, they kill it anyway.
Yeah. And then again, you never know because it could get rabies or anything, you know.
Well, that's natural.
But they got millions of old old pigs.
No, you ate them this morning and you scrambled.
oh.
I love Scrabble too. I'm sorry.
I can't eat that. I can't
I
eat
think
that.
they use it for the NFL. You know, football is made out of pigskin.
That's why they're gone. There's no more left.
Did they
They
just
trying
ban
to
eating dogs? Was that China?
That's China.
They just recently banned the
Yeah, oh, yeah.
consumption of dogs.
I seen that. Right.
Yeah.
They ain't say nothing about my cats though.
Oh.
Still gonna be orange chicken tonight.
So are we like protesting against the Chinese places because of what they did to black people?
Oh no, I'm not on that because I'm friends with my people around the corner. I don't know their names, but I'm friends with them.
Friends with them, or are they friends with your money? I'm just want to make it like that.
Say that again, Nate.
Are you really friends with them?
I don't know their names, but we friends. We close.
Oh, okay.
It's probably something weird with a bunch of exes. So let's move on to talk about today's numbers in Maryland for the coronavirus. So today, Maryland put out their report showing that there's 27,117 cases as of this morning. So this was probably about 7 o'clock this morning. Don't you think it was like 7 o'clock that these came out, Lasha?
Yeah.
So we're up to a total of 1,290 deaths, as well as 1,120 in acute beds and ICU beds at a 573. So in the so this wasn't even a complete 24 hours, like 500 people died. And I think that's total.
The numbers went up though. Remember the numbers?
Yeah, it went up again later today because we're over at this point right now in America. We're over 70,000 deaths.
Oh, isn't it convenient that they post the numbers for today early in the morning?
Yeah,
For today, though?
for today.
For the-
Yeah, people that died in the last 12 hours were already in the report for today.
Because they use premonition. Not
So I
getting
asked, exactly, and I ask this question every week. Has this hit home yet? Has anybody been affected? Nate already told me yes. He knows somebody that has
What
it.
with COVID?
That has it, yes.
No.
My cousin has it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh gosh, so that's 2 of us.
A friend of mine now has it, but I think a lot of the people that are coming out now are in the healthcare industry because they are almost.
Yeah.
Actually, no, that's not the case because I just was looking at
I'm telling you, a lot of the cases now are healthcare employees. People
Oh, you
that-
mean that transmitted it that may have given it to someone else?
Mhm. Mhm.
That's
And
very
those are
possible.
some of the asymptomatic people, but a lot of them are now being tested, and they're a month and a half, months in, and they're being tested now, and without showing any signs, and they have it.
Well,
Well,
see, that's the problem. The problem is there are a large number of people that have COVID, asymptomatic, and aren't getting tested.
Mhm.
So while the number of negative cases are high, it's high today. What happens when we infect them later?
That's why I don't understand why these people are opening up the cities, because a lot of, like, my friend who just let me know he had it. It was just he doesn't have any symptoms.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
Or do you think is it early in his diagnosis, or
yeah, he just got tested. He had a fever and that was it, and that's what made them test him. But
and he
other
might
than
not
that,
even, and he might not get it. I mean, get the severe case of it too. That's the thing.
but that's somebody who's been
Right.
going to the market when he gets off work.
Does he?
And
Do you know if he has any pre-existings?
no, he doesn't.
See, and that's probably see. I mean, it helps some people and it doesn't on others. I mean, it hurts some people and it doesn't on others.
When it
I
affect
think
him,
it's just exposure, though. Just what's your level of exposure to it?
Right, but then and he, I think he would be considered somebody that's asymptomatic too. But is he contagious? Is the
That's the
point?
question that I have, because again, he says, like me, I'm on a schedule right now. I only go out once a week, and that's to the market.
Hmm.
But he says Wednesday, Wednesday,
She know damn well it's Tuesday. She plays too
he's
much.
been either ordering in his food, or he said like maybe once every 2 weeks or so he'll go to the market. But that's still, I mean, our patterns are similar. So other than me having to go to a hospital every day, but I don't, I really don't get how they can justify, other than greed, that they're going to open back up anything, and there's no rhyme or reason to this. That's the part that scares me. There's no rhyme or reason. First, it was non-black people, then it was old people and young people, and then it was middle-aged people, and now it's people who have consistent exposure to it. And there's no clear-cut answer how you get this, how you become asymptomatic. Is there's no, like, even for me, a lot of people have been going back in the last 6 months and saying, well, I was really unnaturally sick in this moment.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Mhm.
me personally, I was hospitalized and they told me it was my tonsils. But a lot of the
But he
things
had
that
it. But he had it. That's what he admitted.
Mm.
Go ahead, continue. You got a question?
my tonsils, but all of the symptoms, it was, I had a lot of phlegm build up. I had a big headache and I was really disoriented. That's why they kept me.
Mhm.
But I don't see the rhyme or reason to it. I mean, Marnie could have brought it into the station. I mean, I don't
even come
know.
there enough. I don't come there enough to bring it. So
Why Molly gotta bring it into the station?
That night we brought that pizza to the station. That's when
I
I
was.
thought I got a
Yeah,
ticket.
nobody told y'all to eat none because I didn't bring it there for y'all.
I wasn't there. I don't remember that one. I remember I wasn't there.
Was it?
I do remember the bread, but I don't remember the pizza.
We were watching the
And
debate,
you
but I'm
shouldn't.
saying, like,
You
this
shouldn't
is
remember it because it wasn't for anybody else but me.
oh,
so that means you had it, and you knew you had it.
I wasn't
Look,
sharing, so I was keeping social distance, and I also don't touch y'all. Bam, how you get it?
Eating the pizza.
Oh, well,
You ate the pizza, which means you reached into my box and ate the
I wasn't
pizza.
there. So I don't know anything about the pizza.
oh.
But that's just a
probably
scary.
some of those
But so
corona
I have a question though.
Go ahead, Naya.
So they say with kids it starts with a rash, or one of those symptoms are rash. Is that true?
I
They
haven't
don't
heard
know.
that symptom.
They brought
I
I
did
don't
hear
know.
that.
Why
I
do you
heard
get a
it
rash?
can be.
I heard
it
that
can
race.
be.
You
Yeah,
heard about a rash?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh.
But at this point, they don't know anything. Everything that they thought,
Right.
they found out that they didn't know. So at this point, if you have corona and you happen to have a rash, then it's a possibility that the rash is related to the corona.
But I feel like they're just making up symptoms or making up things as they go because they really don't know.
Well, that's exactly what they're doing. If enough people have come into the emergency room that showed us a rash, and that's just the virus trying to get out, fighting and trying to get out your body, and you've been trying to
Yeah.
take care of it. So enough people have said that, and enough doctors
Yeah.
have reported that to the CDC. So now that's another symptom.
Okay, so here's a comment. A comment from one of our listeners says. A comment from one of our listeners says, back in late November, I had all the symptoms and they lasted for about 3 weeks. They told me it was a severe upper respiratory infection, but a few months down the line, all of a sudden, the same symptoms are being claimed as COVID-19.
Yeah.
And that was in
I
November.
know plenty of people who had that. I think my aunt had it. I think my ex had it. I think a few people had it. They were very, very sick, had all the symptoms. My aunt couldn't talk for 2 weeks. They told her she had walking pneumonia. I think it was the coronavirus.
Yeah.
She been to China? She went to China or something?
No, she didn't go to China, but my cousin came back from Japan.
See?
My
Yeah,
cousin
same
came in
difference.
from Japan
You say same
to
difference.
visit with her. And I heard that it paralyzes people too, because there's a country singer that is paralyzed from it.
Well, it's so much with it because people was experiencing delirium and
This
it was a
virus
lot.
is nothing to be played with.
It
Lord,
depends on like what else was wrong with you or what else you were going through. Like if you're taking certain medications and you get the flu, it's gonna be worse for you because now you have to deal with the flu symptoms and whatever you was taking medicine for. A lot of people who take mental health medications are reporting that they're having certain symptoms. So it depends on if you have those pre-existing conditions or you're already taking medication for something else. It really is it's going to be, and I wish the people who are reporting this in terms of the government would say this instead of like just throwing out these random like conditions or side effects or, you know, whatever you call it. But there's no rhyme or reason to it. So stay your ass in the house if you're watching this.
absolutely. Please stay home.
This is scary.
So,
It's
while
easy to
speaking,
stay home when so many people can't, though.
Exactly.
So
which is why I brought up the stimulus thing, dude, and wondering if they, you know, asking the question or whether or not you thought they were going to bring about another round of stimulus. Which again,
had we had properly responded in the beginning, right?
right?
So when it first started becoming an issue, like okay, we're about to start shutting things down. A majority of us went to the store and we stocked up and we prepared for this lockdown.
Yeah.
Like we're gonna be shut down.
Mm-hmm.
Had we shut down for 3 weeks, just straight shut down for 3 weeks, we wouldn't be in this dilemma. But because we are afraid of how the economy was gonna, the economy's gonna crash. We're not gonna have this. We're not gonna do that. We're prolonging the inevitable, and it's just gonna continuously get worse.
Mm-hmm.
And then people, even if we would have locked ourselves down for 3 weeks, people would still find a way to go do somebody's hair or need something or want to go out. It's
Yes, that's true.
But it wouldn't be at the level that it is now.
It has happened. But right now, we are the culprits.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking on social media, the people standing in line for Jordans, people having a house.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah.
They are.
Friends,
Goodness gracious.
cookout. Like they had a cookout for a 1-year-old birthday. Like he not gonna make it to 2 because y'all got a cookout.
That's because we're a bunch of big kids. Like we're big children. You can't keep us isolated for 48. Is this the 50th? It's almost.
For the children, it's been since March the 13th.
We've been on punishment for 50 days. Eventually, people are going to rebel. Had it just been, listen, shut down, lock everybody in. We're gonna let everybody that's sick. We're gonna treat them. Everybody else stay home. We probably would have been out of the woods.
I don't think it's a punishment though. I don't look at it as a punishment. I look at it as a way to keep us safe. With the exception of essential employees, I don't see it as a punishment.
That's because you're not a child. The majority of these people here.
No, I'm very in touch with my inner child, but my cousin has it and is on a ventilator fighting for her life. So that outweighs my inner child.
Mm-hmm.
My inner child can stay home and play with coloring books.
See, and that was the problem. We kept hearing about people who have it. None of us at the time knew anybody who had it. And that's the sad part. And then we didn't go to these it was heart-wrenching watching my godmother's husband's funeral, because there's a lot of bodies
Yes.
that are plain, a lot of the bodies that are just piling up at
Yes.
the cemetery. Literally,
Yes.
we kept hearing about, and that's the crazy part. And we're being so hard-headed. The government isn't telling us everything. The government has more answers, but they can't tell us everything, because look how we're reacting. They don't want to enact martial law, because then we're going to rebel. And people trying to get haircuts. Like, I was like, what the hell is, where you going? Like, my beard is going to be touching my eyeballs soon before I allow anybody to cut my hair. Like, it's not
There was a
happening.
barber that died because he let somebody in his house and cut their hair, and he died of COVID-19.
Oh
Yep.
gosh.
It's a couple barbers. It's a couple barbers. People sitting in the nail salons getting their toes done. Like, where you going?
You know what? It comes down to the old adjective. It doesn't affect us until it actually affects us.
Mhm.
Until we know somebody who is actually suffering from COVID-19 or has died from it or anything like that, that's when a lot of people take it seriously. They don't take it seriously when it's like, it doesn't affect them. Oh, well, I ain't got nobody who died. It ain't nothing happening to me. Ain't nothing going to happen to me. That's how they take it, and that's the
Right.
ignorance of it all.
Right. Exactly.
People don't
Exactly.
listen to them.
I understand you needed to pay your bills. That's a concern for me. But if I'm not here to be able to pay the bills, it's really
Right.
matter.
And that's
Right.
that was. I'm glad you said that, because that's just made this pop back up in my head again. Because that's what they've been saying all along, all day long. MSNBC, NBC, all of them have been saying, "What are you going to put? What are you saying? Are you putting your life for the economy? Is it your life or the economy? Which one are you going to choose?
Can we curse on here?
Why not?"
Fuck the economy.
Shit.
I want to be alive to see my grandchildren.
That's
No
what I'm saying.
shit.
Because the economy can recover, you can't recover lives.
Exactly.
We've been through this. We went through one depression. We can go through another one. Unfortunately, we can do it.
But I'm upset at the government right now for not activating systems that have already been put in place for something like this. We went through a depression in this country. So there's systems that have already
Several
been
of them.
place. But now, even with the stimulus check, if this person doesn't get it and this person gets it and that person can't get it because they owe money for child support, but at the end of the day, like, it needs all the rules. I understand the rules because they've been giving checks to dead bodies.
But that's the part that don't make sense. Like, if they owe money to child support, did you give the money to the people, the damn children? Did you send it to the child support person?
Right.
No, you just said they can't get it, so we're gonna keep this money. They still
No,
pay
yeah.
taxes though.
When it gets put into that spiral of having to go back in the system and go to another department in the government, and eventually it gets down to that child. But it's still, at the end of the day, like, if you gave the mother the payment, then the father would be able to keep their payment and they would be okay. Now, get his ass when this is over. But right now, people, they don't need to be worried. So now he got to go out and do shit, like cut grass and stuff like that, because he got to make up for his household. But I just think this is the dumbest thing ever, that the government is sitting down playing with us as if we're pawns in this game, and it's not helping anybody.
That's what it is. That's what it is, because it's not real to anybody in the administration. This isn't real to them. Now, if you think about Congress, it's a little different for Congress. Well, I mean, it's a little different for Congress because most of them are all over 65. Most of the people in Congress are over 65. So they are really the ones that this could potentially wipe out. So it's a little bit more closer to home to them, but not so in the White House.
But they've already made
because
contingency. None of them are on the Capitol Hill. They all in their home.
No,
Right
no,
now.
they're in Capitol Hill now. They had to come back this week. They had to do work.
Yeah, they had to come back.
I want to see.
Well, if you want to talk that 1%, if you part of that 1%, you don't think you think you're above everything. You can't, that's something that the little people worry about.
Yes.
I'm good. I can get the medical treatments. I'm good. So you don't really worry about everybody else. You just worry about the 1%. And that's how, they think. I mean,
But that's an interesting part because a lot of people that work in the actual White House are not 1%ers.
No, I'm not.
But they think because they're in the administration, they work as if they are. Yeah.
But I'm not saying the people in the White House are 1%ers, but the president is one of those people who are one of the people who 1%, even though he had to, he's not head of Trump Corporation right now, but still he's part of that one.
So we think, and so he tells us, but that's a bullshit ass lie.
He's still making money. He's still a part of it. His children are too stupid to be in charge of anything.
Until he get out of the White House and they audit his ass, because I think this is coming next.
I'm still waiting.
He really in for an audit now.
Make sure everybody is fine. Things are happening, but it's just not happening for everybody. It's a stipulation for everything. Like, it's just with unemployment, with social services, with being furloughed from your jobs. Like, and I understand people can't afford to just pay people to do nothing. But right now, like, the government really needs to just get in there and just make some hard.
I would like to know. Okay, I'm glad you said that though, because I would like to know who are any of you not getting paid from your jobs?
No, I'm still getting
Yeah, like from one of my jobs now.
I will say this though. I had a conversation today with BG&E and my car insurance company.
Mm-hmm.
They have been denied access to turn you off. They told me, both of them told me, we
they
cut off
can't do
your
that
services right now.
No,
That's
they
why I
can't.
haven't paid them. It's like, no.
You said what?
That's why I haven't paid them.
If this interview cuts off, I'm gonna understand why, Monty. Pay the bill, Monty.
So this happened to me.
I'm just playing. I pay my
I
bills.
deferred my car note just because, right? So I
Mhm.
deferred my car note. So I guess too many people have gone through a deferral process, and my car note people sold the lease to another company. So I got a call today from the company. Hey, this is a late fee call. We calling to collect the debt. Da, 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 da. I'm like, what debt you talking about? I don't even know y'all. Whole conversation. They won't honor the deferment, the deferral from the other company.
Yeah.
And because it's a new account, you don't qualify for a deferral because you haven't made any payments.
And see, those are the stipulations and loopholes that I'm speaking of, that the government needs to go in, because business will always find a way to be business. So that person that had your car loan before, they will write this off at the end of the year. So they don't learn about it. And that person will keep calling you and get their money. But it's crazy.
So let me get this right. Let me ask you a question on that. So you had the agreement already processed for your deferment, and then they sold it.
Yeah.
Yes,
That agreement still stands.
it should, but it's not any record of it. By the time I go through this process of trying to prove
You might as
that,
well pay the bill.
might as well pay the bill. So I just paid it. I mean, I only got it deferred because I could. One of those, like, yeah, just deferred. But
That's still trying to figure out how there was no record, because they record every phone call.
I don't understand how these big businesses are still able to get over with us in this moment.
They don't get over with me. They don't get over. It's impossible.
Then a couple of but still.
That's why I'm asking her this question. Like, give me the phone number. I'm getting ready to take care of this.
It wasn't worth the energy. I
know. I'm understanding what you're saying now, but I was looking ready to say, give me the phone number. I will take care of this.
In essence, they put you into collections after making an agreement with you.
Well, according to the new company, they received it past due.
Okay. Okay.
So the process of the deferral, like I had just put, I don't know when this transaction occurred between the companies because I hadn't gotten a letter.
Probably right after you got off the phone with them.
Probably like somewhere in the middle of that. So at some point, that deferral process didn't get processed because she said, "Oh, we don't have any record of that." She took the time. She looked it up. She went through. She was like, "I don't have any record."
Oh, that was the new company. The new company did that.
The new company.
So, I know you wouldn't have took them up on the offer, but did they offer you anything because of
They couldn't
COVID?
offer me anything. They couldn't offer me anything because
But that's
I
not
was
true. I think if you would, I mean, I know that's what they said, but by the end of the call, they would have been like, "Well, let's see if you would have kept pushing." I mean, if you would have kept pushing it, because they can't demand you to pay anything during this time.
Probably.
So that just means that the person that you talked to didn't take the time to defer you. They just wrote you off.
Yeah. They told
Well,
you
the deferral process.
Here.
The lady that I talked to for the deferral, she sent me the forms and all that other stuff, and I sent it back to her. And before I got any word back from them, I got a call from another company. So the deferral process kind of overlapped there.
So in this process, you never even got the notification that they sold your lease. I mean your loan.
So that was already in process before they even talked to you.
But that was already out of line because you need to be notified. You can't just call me. You have to actually notify me through mail of a
Well,
sale.
that's what I told her. So what she did, what happened after I got off the phone with them? She sent me a link to their account, their online portal, so I can log in and see the information.
So she was like calling you. This was like an introductory call. Welcome to our.
And right after that, Stewart Financial, my original Cardinal holder, sent me an email of notification that they switched it over. So they
honestly, it's probably the same company. It's probably, but that was a ploy that collection agencies do to get their money.
But here's the problem that I have with the whole entire scenario. Just because they sold your loan to someone else doesn't reset your history.
Right. No, it doesn't.
So them saying they couldn't do a deferment does not equate because your history is still there.
All of the history was in the portal.
The loan agreement is still original. You can sell it to whoever you want to.
But they now have to honor. Sold it. They had to sold it before they sent you the paperwork.
Right, but they can but that doesn't even matter because they can sell it to anyone. They can sell your loan to anybody.
But they had to honor
it doesn't take away from your agreement, the agreement that you signed.
Right. So did you make copies?
No, it doesn't even matter. They bought the agreement. They didn't buy the car.
So
right.
They probably never processed their deferment though.
That's what I'm saying. They never processed it. They never processed it.
But that's the
they just wrote you off. Yeah.
That's the issue. But that's what I'm saying. They can't reset her agreement because her agreement is signed. Right. That's legal. It's binding.
That's why I said, did she have copies? So if she had the copies of the paper, she could have said, hey, you have to honor this.
Well, the deferment, I think the deferment was done over the phone. Right.
But the fact that she told me, because at this point, okay, let's just say Stewart Financial didn't process it. Okay, you process it. Like this, you took the note. Like you process it. They told me, oh well, we can't because we don't have any payment history from you because technically this is a new account.
Mm-hmm. But see, a lot of businesses are getting away with that. A lot of businesses are getting that grant money, and they still are doing this on the other side to the consumer. And it's really, I've gone through that with my company grant. I've gone through that with PayPal. Like, these businesses are still taking grant money, saying that they're losing money on one side, but they're still making sure that they get their money on this side. And
absolutely.
It's really scary.
Monty.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Monty.
Yes.
So I have a friend who has tuned into the show, and she says she doesn't see my name on the screen. I explained to her that I had called in.
She a liar. I told her that she's a liar because it's right here on my screen right now. Panelist Lindsay Marie on the phone.
Well, let me hit her up and tell her that right now.
I don't know. I said she's a liar. Oh, she don't. God. Maybe she's talking about she doesn't see your face on the screen.
No, I explained to her that I called. I explained to her that I called, and she said I don't see your name.
It's right under talk lately. Tell her just keep waiting.
Okay, let me
Stick
talk to
around.
you. You're such a Scorpio.
Facebook told me to tell y'all to stop clicking on my videos and clicking off because it doesn't mean anything to us. That's what Facebook told me to tell y'all. Listeners, you have to stick around and watch the show. That's how it
The
works.
whole entire thing.
No, they have to open it up. They have to.
They have to
click on it.
actually open it, and then you have to sit there for more than 3 seconds for it to register as a view. It means, I'm serious, that it's exactly what they told me today. This was today. I researched it because I was wondering why our videos at Be Exposed Radio have not been monetized.
Yep.
And they said
But
it's because people would only click and watch for 3 seconds and then they click off. Like, wait, were we not interested in
No,
you?
but a lot of them are still watching, but they have to physically open it up
Open the screen. Right.
Mm-hmm.
without clicking on it.
Right.
Right. They actually watch it from their page feeds.
Mm-hmm.
Long story short, just click on it. Just click
Mhm.
on it. You might learn something.
I mean, it's not exactly my point.
If
Exactly
you
my
click
point.
and say hello, just click and say, hey, how you doing? And come right off. That should be enough time to get to
Right.
3 seconds. That's what I did.
Money.
We give shout outs. I mean, we communicate with you. I try. Look, I'm the one engineering these shows at this moment right now for the past
Money.
2 months.
Money. My
yeah.
friend said, "Don't be a smart ass."
Oh, she heard me when I said she a liar?
Yeah.
So she's watching.
More to come. There's more to come.
Tell her to share it out and invite her friends.
I mean, it just popped up on my screen again. I see it all the time. It says Lindsay. Lindsay.
Like and share the
As you're
It's on the
speaking,
phone.
when you start speaking, it'll come up.
Yeah, that's what I explained to her. She's watching.
So
There you go.
Babyface is hosting a Mother's Day listening party for the soundtrack of Waiting to Exhale on Mother's Day.
And I'm for it.
Okay.
The only thing that I was
Public
hoping.
gathering.
Here's what I'm not going to go listen to the soundtrack of Waiting to Exhale on Instagram Live. I mean, that sounds ludicrous to me. Now, what he could do is invite. I mean, he's Babyface. Why couldn't he just invite the artist to come in and sing the song on Instagram?
Yeah.
Well, you know, Whitney's gone.
I mean, well, yeah, play her track.
That's some impersonators or somebody that can sing just as good as her.
No, there never will be another Whitney. Never.
There
I
will
don't care
never
who
be
they
another Whitney, but there. I mean, we can make this a real good party, and like you said, Naya, invite somebody to sing her part. But most of the other people are still alive. Brandy just released a new album. This would be good. Released a new song and video. This would be good publicity for her. Mary J. Blige, where the hell are you? Hello.
She is producing.
She is not under the table.
Producing shows.
No, I know she has a show ready to come
She's gonna
out.
be on the next. She's
Yeah.
gonna be on the next
Yeah,
episode.
she says she wants to be left alone on BET Awards. She was singing during her performance for everybody to leave her alone. She is tired
Well,
of
no,
the
she has a good show that I think there's going to be a good show that's going to come out.
Yeah.
It's the actual, I don't know, are they calling it a sequel or prequel to Power?
I don't know if it's a prequel or,
Sequel to Power.
but it's the next part of Power.
Well, whatever
Power,
it is, it's in the same vein as Power.
I think it's.
And she's the actual lead of that show. Her and
Right.
somebody else. Who else is
But
it?
I think it's ranged around Ghost this time.
Yeah.
I
And
don't
it's
think
supposed
I
to-
want to listen to that. That's a depressing soundtrack, though. I don't think
Wait,
that's.
sitting up in my room wasn't depressing? Well, it is. You're alone, you lonely bitch.
Yeah, all the songs
I
depressing.
mean, but it was still jam off of it. Like, hey.
Who else was it? What's the other song? Oh,
You had
Not Gonna
Shoot.
Cry, Mary J. Blige.
Oh yeah, you had Shoot.
Mm-hmm.
You had that. That was a positive song.
They positive, but they boring.
Let It Flow, Tony Braxton.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
This is
yeah,
for Mother's
yeah.
Day, though, Nate.
Taking me
It's for
back to
Mother's Day.
96 now.
Yeah, it is for Mother's Day. Waiting to Exhale is a mother's movie.
Yeah.
I'd love Waiting to
They
Exhale.
had more joyful songs than Mother Day.
But like I said, the majority of them are still alive, and that would be nice for them to just pop, or just at least pop in and dance, sway with us. If they don't want to sing or not, they could just sway. I mean, it'd be nice to see their faces. I haven't seen Mary J. I've seen Brandy because she's all over the place right now. But I haven't seen Mary J. I've seen very little of Tony, except for when she was doing Babyface and Teddy Riley's fight thing, commenting along.
Well, she got a single out too.
Who, Tony
Anyway,
Braxton?
Yes, she has a single out.
is it out?
It is out.
You bought it? You
I
got
listen
it?
to her old
Sing
stuff.
a note.
I like
Sing
her
some of
old
it.
stuff.
Sing some of it. Let me hear it. Sing
You
it.
gonna hate letting the crickets?
Right. I don't have my buttons. I wish.
I listen to her old stuff. I'm listening to another sad love song when we get off the show. That's my song. I love that song and that
I mean,
video.
all of their songs on and repeat in my vehicle. So if you ever, ride with me somewhere, you hear.
Oh
everything.
yeah, I've heard. I've been there, done that with you.
You hear
were
everything.
playing Tamar. You were
Yep.
playing Tamar.
Yeah, most recently it was Lizzo. That's over. I'm over that fad now. I don't know who I'm
You
listening
over
to.
Lizzo?
I'm not over her. I'm over the fad. I don't have to listen to it constantly. I don't know all the words at this point.
Oh, okay, because you listened to it already.
Exactly. I've listened to it enough that I can move on to other music now. So Carnival Cruise. Is that where y'all go? The one y'all take, Lasha? Please don't go.
Yeah.
Please don't go.
Well,
Please,
tell me about it.
Just let go. Just let go of the cruise thing.
Tell me about it.
Do a
Yeah,
flight every
please.
week. Okay, so they're getting ready to start service back up on August the 1st. That's what's
No,
being
that's gonna be a disaster.
And it's all the ports that we typically use: Galveston, Miami, and Port Carnival.
Well, I do
And-
want to please make it known that Carnival did not have a devastation of COVID cases.
I thought they did in the California water. Who was that
Nope.
then?
Carnival, it wasn't Carnival.
That was the
Royal Caribbean?
that was not Celebrity. I can't remember. It wasn't Carnival though.
It wasn't
Was
Carnival.
it Royal Caribbean?
I think it was.
Maybe it was Royal Caribbean. But still, let's not be that close to each other. And you
Same
can't
thing
run.
going to a resort, as in the DR.
It's not the same as going to a resort, especially not in the DR, because our
It's very
rooms,
different.
our rooms are 6 feet apart in the DR.
It's very different. It's a whole, I mean, from walking downstairs and sliding your hand down the stairs, picking up plates, and it's really easy to spread a virus on a cruise ship. It really is. But Carnival did a really good job at maintaining no COVID. I don't want to say no COVID cases, but no COVID outbreaks
Okay.
on their
The only
trip
reason why I
out.
say that is because it's it was so easy for the military ships to get it, the Navy ships.
Well,
So
they
ships
cleaned.
period
Let me tell you,
means, I mean,
the
they.
way you could not pay me enough to work on a cruise ship. You hear me? The way these people
Yes.
clean is obsessive. It's a constant wiping and spraying
Right.
and sterilizing, and so they do a really, really good job at maintaining the hygiene of the ship. Now, I have a friend that was a
Which is the same thing as a Navy ship. That's how they are on the Navy ship, because your job is to keep this ship in tip-top shape. And they clean constantly on naval ships. That's part of what they do every single day. Their mission is to clean this ship and then be ready.
every day, or is it ongoing? Like there's always somebody cleaning.
It's every single day. You get up and that's what your motion is to clean. Just like if you were at a military base. Your
No.
motion is this is your job. You do this every single day.
Monty, I don't think you understand what I'm saying. Everybody, if they work 18-hour days, in the course of your day, cleaning is a large segment of your day.
Well, they have a dedicated service team just for cleaning though.
They have a cleaning team,
Right.
but then everybody else other than entertainment is required to clean.
I just don't want you to be in no more the confined spaces like a ship.
What I'm saying is, I
Where
have
you
never
can't
been
escape.
anywhere on a cruise ship and somebody wasn't cleaning.
Okay.
Ever, at any point. 24 hours a day.
I remember that video, the video where y'all was in the dining room and the lady was back there cleaning off the tables. I seen her.
But are they?
So I don't know if everybody's watching down below, if you got your screens open, you probably see our news ticker at the bottom. And right at the bottom, it's talking about Amazon VP Tim Bray, who resigned in protest over the firing of a whistleblower for making noise about the workers who have to work in the warehouses under COVID conditions. So he resigned actually like a week or two ago. He called Amazon chicken shit. He says a lot in here. I mean, he wrote a whole entire open letter, and in parts of in one main part of this letter, he says, where did I go? I think I lost it. My highlight didn't print.
Is it the no wonder that they are all minorities or women?
Yes, you read this. Good job. Yes, he said. I mean, he says this. I mean, but that's somebody that actually is feeling the pain, but before this happened, wasn't speaking, but now has a little bit more clarity under this guise.
I mean, I think that people tend to not see the reality of the situation until it hits home. Like, period. People know of the despairing conditions that a lot of workers go through in these major corporations, but it's not until you see it clear as day that it's like, I can't ignore this anymore. Literally, these people were working, they were forcing them to work without disclosing whether or not their coworkers had COVID.
Right.
They didn't have masks. They didn't give them proper protection to make sure they didn't get the coronavirus. It was just ridiculous. And then you fire people because they're protesting.
Yeah, so here's what it says. The victims weren't abstract entities, but real people. Here are some of their names. Courtney Bowden, Gerald Bryson, Marin Costa, Emily Cunningham, Bashir Muhammad, and Chris Smalls. I'm sure it's a coincidence that every one of them is a person of color, a woman, or both, right?
Wow.
That stood out to me.
That's the population that works at a lot of them.
Exactly, right. But once I think his real aggression to this is once you found out that the majority of the populations that's being hit by this is the African American community, and you know your company's warehouse is made up of a lot of us, you should have been changing your environment at that point, and that's what their fight is.
Well, he's not in position to do that.
Say it again, Lasha.
He's not in position to do that. He's a vice president and a senior engineer, but there's a whole human resource department. He has a whole.
Oh, you dropped out, Lasha. Oh, completely. All right, we'll wait for her to unpause. Nate, say it.
But part of me, it's not that I don't agree with it, but we are expecting people who are already being shortchanged to be looked out for and to be taken care of. I mean, they were already working under really stressful situations and really disrespectful situations. So you were expecting Amazon to say, we are the #1 commodity right now in the quarantine.
I'm not expecting them to do. I wasn't expecting them to do anything. But I'm thinking him as a VP was expecting them to change the culture around his own what he has to work with.
Right.
That's what he was expecting, and that's why he resigned. I'm out of here because this is not the conditions that I thought this company was going to be surrounding itself with. And then here it is.
Yes, but even his argument is BS because you were already treating his employees like this before we even knew about COVID-19. So the fact that he was okay with overworking them and putting them under stressful situations to begin with was okay. But because somebody in his family...
How can you blame somebody for being overworked when you accept your position? You accept it. I mean, if you overworked yourself because you allowed it to happen.
Yeah, but most of the people who take those jobs, it was hard for them to get other jobs. Or nobody else was hiring them. Or they had special circumstances. Or they represented certain special populations of people who had to work.
Or the money.
Right.
Say it again.
I mean, those people needed the money, though. I mean, many of them needed the money. That's why they were working there.
Right.
It's no different than any other industry that's out there like that. But at the same time, you knew the conditions that these employees were already in. It only
exactly
your aunt got COVID-19. That's the only difference that you didn't want the company to look like they were doing something wrong when everybody else was being greedy. Like it wasn't. I mean, I don't feel for the people who are the leadership of that company, but I'm not expecting for Amazon to care. I don't understand why people will work there or continue to work there.
I need them to work there.
I
because
agree
that's my
with you.
package.
I agree with you 100%.
But how if Amazon shuts down, we fucked.
Exactly, and that's what I was saying. I need them to continue to work there because I need to get my packages.
Right.
So I mean, I know it sounds harsh, but at the end of the day, we have to understand that we live in a class system. We live in a class system, and there are some jobs where people have to work harder to make a little bit amount of money, and then there are other jobs where people don't work nowhere near as much, and they make the bulk of the money.
But the
It's the
employees
system that we live in.
the employees are saying, hey, can we shut down for like a day and do a thorough cleaning through here and then open back up and do that on a routine basis? A lot of the people that were outright complaining were saying they were not willing to shut down and clean after people coming up with coronavirus and COVID-19.
And I'm not saying that they should have to work in those conditions. But when you're working for a corporation of that magnitude during a pandemic, when everybody is now dependent on Amazon to ship all of this stuff because we're not going anywhere, it takes time to come up with these processes. I'm not excusing what happened. I don't think anybody should have been fired. I commend them for standing up for themselves and protesting and doing what they needed to do. But I still need you to ship my contact lenses.
But I just feel like that now that everything is a technology type deal, that some of these people in Amazon won't really have a job because now they're trying to transition over to robots to pretty much do everything that a human can do, but much faster and everything. Yeah, your package will still be delivered, but some of these people that are working there won't really have a job once the robots take over in years from now.
If they put them drones out to start delivering your packages, you're not going to have no job either. Well, you better get this money while you can and stop playing because they're offering all this overtime at this point. I know people that work at Amazon right now that love it.
Yeah, because they're getting that overtime.
They're getting that overtime. They're killing them in that overtime.
But once the robots take over, they
already, and they know that. And they know that this job is not forever. They know this job for two reasons that it's not a job forever, because they know they're going to find something else or they're going to be phased out.
But do they give benefits?
Nurses.
They do get benefits. Some of them do get benefits.
Yeah, they do get benefits. And they also get incentive on stock, too.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes. Stock, yeah.
Speaking of stock and robots, I have been looking into artificial intelligence to buy some stock in because 5G is going to make a big impact on artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
I'm glad you said that because that's the whole point of the 5G.
5G
is supposed to be about
That's smart.
5G is supposed to be about connectivity. And that's what the whole thing is supposed to be, bringing a whole bunch of industries, a whole bunch of things together and connect them, where 4G and high-speed internet was not able to bridge that gap. 5G is supposed to be able to. Where I understand people's concerns about the radiation, or I explained it to them, and I'm going to explain it to everybody like this. Stay away from the damn poles, and you won't get affected by the radiation.
You know what? I'm trying to figure out where these people get these Geiger counters from.
You get them from Home Depot. They go to Home Depot, Lowe's, they got the Geiger counters. But at the same time, you don't have to go read the Geiger counter if you're not standing by the damn pole.
Well, why? Forget about standing by the pole. We used to sit on.
You don't have to stay. If you're not standing by the pole, the radiation can't get you. That was like, you don't understand. I don't understand why people don't understand that you are surrounded by radiation regardless of where you are.
True.
In your house, there's radiation. You turn that microwave on every time you want to heat something up. It pumps radiation into your house. The street lights have radiation coming off of them. Your phone is a radiation box that you carry around next to your titties.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God.
My damn titty.
Mine's be in there.
See, I
Cut
know a
deep.
lot of people that stick their phones in their breasts.
Cut
Nicole.
deep. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, I know some people who do too, and I don't do that.
And it's like you are
Along
surrounded
with
by
other
radiation.
things.
There's nothing you can do about it. The TVs. I don't know about I have never read any research on LED and LCD TVs, but the old box tube, the box television, was a radiation box
Yeah.
in your
Oh.
house. And you sat there glued to it as a child watching it. That's why we got a whole bunch of
Yep.
bald
With the
children.
twist knob. Yep. Yep. With the twist knob.
It's like you gotta understand. You gotta really think about the logic when you start to when people start to spread these rumors about stuff that's going to affect you and all this other kind of stuff. That's what the research behind a certain amount of things is for. They know they can't put those poles right next door to your house, so they put them across the street away from your house to make sure you still get a good signal, but it's distance between you and that box so the radiation doesn't really affect you. But if you're gonna go stand under the pole, of course your hair is gonna fall out immediately. That's what it's gonna do. You're standing in the radiation. You're on the sun.
You're on the sun.
Don't stand
Wow.
on the sun.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Oh.
This is not okay, Monty. This is not okay.
All right, this is my last story for the night, and then we gotta go. I think it is. Hold on, man. Make sure that's the one I really want to do.
I have a question.
Go for it.
Is the airplanes and stuff, are they still running or?
Yes, the airports are open.
And flights are
Yeah,
cheap.
people are
You
flying.
can catch a flight, but
Okay.
they're really strict on you where you have to wear a mask at the gate. When you get to the gate, you have to have your mask on, and while you're on the plane, you have to have your mask on. And when
Okay.
when you're getting off the plane, you have to keep that mask on until you are out into the open area. Then you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, and the airports
Okay.
are empty because nobody really is flying right
Yeah,
now.
nobody's really
Right.
flying, and they got it set up
That's
that
what I
like,
wanted to know.
in the beginning of this, it was like 10 people per plane. Now it's increased a little bit more, so it's how
Okay.
it is now. It's like every other seat at this
Look,
point.
everybody working from home from all over the
But
country.
I'm glad
right
you.
Yeah.
You reading my
I'm
mind
not.
a little bit, Naya, because I actually looked into flights today. I'm waiting. I'm ticking this clock down.
You know
as
me
soon
right
as this
here.
is over.
My biggest hurdle, I'm trying to get Lindsay on the plane. That's why I asked.
I
As
told
soon
her
as this
the
is
next
over, I'm
plan is
getting
to get
out of
on the
here.
game.
Look, I would be gone.
Yeah.
My trip was June the 19th, and I had already
With your-
canceled it.
With your 2.6 million?
Look, my trip was June the 19th. It's June the 19th every single year for some reason. But June the 19th, I was going to be out of here, and I had to cancel. But I already looked up, and I'm looking at...
Did you get your money back?
Of course I did.
Oh, okay. Because some people didn't get their refund.
If you know me, I got my money back.
No, because then some people, they're trading it for like a motel or something. Like they'll give you credit for a motel instead of giving you your money back.
Can't nobody out-talk me when it comes to my coin.
I hear that. I hear that, Mr. Wiley.
So,
Every week, honey.
not when it comes to this coin, because I'm going to get my money back. I'm waiting for a check now from Car Shield. Thank you.
I know that's right.
We fought all the way through the Better Business Bureau. And I'm not supposed to be talking about it. Fight me.
Oh, oh, oh.
Cancel
Ooh,
rent.
that
So they did. So there's this sign, and I don't know where the sign is located at, but they put it up with the mayor's face on it. Cancel rent and fuck the police.
Yes, I
Have y'all
saw
seen
that.
that?
That was me.
Oh,
That was
really?
me.
You said it was.
That was me.
But you need to send me one of those.
You didn't see? Have y'all seen the sign?
Not yet.
That's North and Charles Street.
There's the sign.
Wow.
Oh, it's on North Street.
People are crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
People are really crazy.
Are y'all? I mean, I guess the question is, are y'all going along with that? Because it's not going to happen. But would you like to have rent canceled?
You said, okay, so
during
you
this?
said cancel the rent completely, right?
So they're saying during this whole entire thing, they want to cancel the rent. I don't know how the landlords would get paid. I guess the city would pay them, the state would pay them, the federal government would pay them. But how do you cancel rent without somebody getting paid? Because then you're just hurting someone else.
Because a lot of them are able to defer their mortgage. So if they're
That's
still
true.
mortgage deferred, I'm sorry, you just not gonna get your profit this month.
Deferred don't mean that they don't have to pay it.
Right.
They go on the back end
No,
and then it
what
costs
I'm
more, but
saying-
you got the interest on it.
Yeah, but I think a lot of people that are asking for rent to be adjusted is because a lot of like the big or not even big, but like apartment developments or landlords are still calling and sending letters. One of my friends just did that. That happened to him. Like they keep sending him letters. They posted it on his door saying final notice. Like they're still harassing them, but they're getting their mortgage deferred. So they're not having to pay right now, and it's not affecting them. But a lot of landlords are still harassing their tenants because they're missing out on their profit this month. So you will get your money, but I think it should still be under the same guidelines, like defer it. So now my lease is longer. I have a longer lease with you than before.
But then
right?
you owe
Maybe they don't want a longer lease.
But if
don't
you extend their lease, you might. But that doesn't make sense. If you extend their lease, they still got to pay those months for those
Right.
months too. So that's double rent.
Right.
But you should not do it that way then. So just let them. You have to figure something out because
That's
people
what.
are not-
That's why I said if they're talking about cancel rent, somebody has to pay the landlord because it can't be me
and
because
it'll
I
be
don't
the
have
federal
it.
government.
I was about
Yeah, they should go to the government and get one of those small business loans.
They should. I think they should go to
Small
housing because that's what housing
grant.
is for. Housing. If you're going to cancel rent, housing should pay them.
Yeah, they should get a federal grant from
That's
HUD.
what housing is for. It's called the Department of Housing. Pay for the housing of your citizens when they're in need.
I have a question.
Now does this put that once things open back up, just put that over, like just cut it up and divide it amongst.
No, I don't want to pay more, Nate. Why are you trying to make me pay more when I don't have any goddamn money in the first place? I'm broke. I'm broke, Nate. Nate, I don't have a job. How am I going to pay the increased rent? I got fired.
Tom, I'm
What
not
do we?
but you need
What do we
to
think?
say something because
I got fired.
you represent what your argument is. What these businesses are. That's what their argument is, and it's not fair to everybody. Like some people are getting relief, but other people aren't. Like it's because you own your home, you shouldn't be in a better position than me because
I didn't say that. It doesn't represent me because I got money to last me for a long time. So it wouldn't be me.
Well, I'm coming
But
over your house.
So
I'm coming over your house.
the problem.
I'm gonna up with you, mommy.
But what I'm saying is for those people, they're talking about those people in this particular situation that has rent. I don't know that what you just said sounds like a qualification situation that some
not
people
about
qualify and some people
I
don't.
think it
Well,
would
it
be a
would be if you're talking about in the same vein as those people that are not getting the stimulus check because they have child support. That's a qualification thing. You don't qualify because you owe child support. Now,
Right.
should that have been written differently? Yes.
I don't think that's. I don't
What
think.
do we expect to pay for? Like we want to cancel rent. We want food stamps. Cut off don't cut my BG&E off. Don't
I
cut
don't-
my cable. Don't pay. I'm not paying my car note. What do we?
I'm not asking.
But
I'm
I
not
think
asking
I think
to
the
be-
whole point is because the economy has stopped. Everything should stop.
But
If
the
you
economy
have
did not
forcibly shut down the economy and told me to stay home, everything has to stop. Everything.
And I agree.
Everything
with that.
Because how do you
Especially
survive
business
this
and
if
stuff
you can't live in your house? How do you survive this if your lights ain't on? How do you survive this if you don't have the money to go get food? How do you survive this if you can't drive, Lasha, if you can't drive to go get your food? How
And
do
I
you
think
survive
that's what
this?
the argument is, and that's
I
what it
lose
is.
my car. If I lose my car, how am I getting to the market? Because I'm not walking.
What do we take accountability for? Is what I'm trying to figure out.
I am taking accountability. I'm doing what you. I'm taking accountability.
Pandemic.
I'm
How do you
taking.
get accountability in the middle of a pandemic?
I'm
This
taking.
This is how
Like poor people. Like
I'm
how do
taking
you
accountability.
the
I'm
government
taking it, but
takes
see, that's the
control.
thing. You keep saying you're talking about accountability. You take accountability by doing what they told you by staying your ass home. That's your accountability. That is your job. Your job is to stay off of the streets and not infect anyone else. That's your only job. Right now,
What are
your
they
only job is not to contract this disease.
So and here's the thing. They're not doing that. So if they're not doing that, why then, if you
Well,
can't
no,
do
that's what I'm saying. Right now, it's not working because that's why I don't think any of this would happen. None of this would happen. This is all.
If they would have just shut
These are
down.
all hopes and dreams because none of this is going to happen because everything is starting to open back up, regardless on the concern of the disease still being rampant. They don't care
Right.
no more. They just worried about making money, and that's the sad part about our society is that we all are still concerned about money and not the life.
Well, who's to say that they open it up and then they shut it right back down because it's not going to stop?
And I'm looking forward to it.
That's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
That's exactly what's going to happen.
But
Well,
guess
they
who-
are
They're
talking
going to
about
blame it on.
another
They're going to blame it on Obama.
guess who's already going to be locked down already?
Well, they're already talking about a second wave of coronavirus coming through.
You're right. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going to be in the second wave because I wasn't in the first wave because I was
So are they-
already here. I was already here.
Are they doing the second wave of the stimulus check and a little bit more money?
But that's
in
what I'm
there?
saying. But that's exactly the point because once that stimulus check buys your food, once that stimulus check is only $1,200. So what are you going to do with that stimulus check? You're going to either pay your rent, or you're going to pay your light
You're gonna buy
bill,
food.
or you're going to pay your car note, or you're going to buy food.
And that's just for 1 month.
$1,200 is not enough because then you got to worry about May. And that's what I'm saying. We've already gone through April. We got the stimulus in April. What about May? That's why they had to open the economy because they didn't want to give y'all up motherfuckers another stimulus.
Well,
No.
the reason they had to open the economy because the only people that profited was the seafood restaurant.
Oh, crab places.
Which is crazy. Like, I think people are crazy for doing that. Like, why are you still living as if,
Yeah, my sister just said the root of evil, money.
yeah, that's dumb to me. Like, people are so
The
selfish.
love of money is the root of evil, not money. The love of money.
No, the money is the root of the evil too. The actual
No, the love
physicality,
of it.
the
That's what the word
physicality, the
says.
love of
The love
physicality.
of it.
But the physicality of the money is the root of evil too,
Right.
because you touch that and get the germ, the coronavirus gets on you too. So get rid of it all, burn it.
I haven't touched
Like
a
the-
dollar
like
bill
little
since
thing.
Corona came.
Lord have mercy.
So
card.
I was just gonna take this to another whole level. How do y'all feel about the chip?
What chip? I'm not taking no chip.
No,
No.
Check to pay. So.
I'm not taking no damn chip.
no. They gonna tie me down.
Everybody's saying no to the chip. I
Nah, no
don't
chip for me,
get
man.
why. You are already, all of you are already chipped. Y'all walk around with your cell phone. You're chipped. You're chipped.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm not
Well, that's
getting
enough. I just don't want it
anything in my
in.
body from the government.
Why?
Nothing.
Why not? I mean, but why not?
No. No,
I mean,
no, no.
like, it'll benefit you in the long run for like if you get kidnapped or
It's supposed to house all your money too.
Like
So
the
it's supposed
dog.
to, it's trying to get rid of all the electronic bases.
Like
No, 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 no. My reasons are spiritual reasons. My belief in the Bible and what it says.
All right, that's it. I gotta go. Somebody hang my phone up.
See, you see, you're not listening. I'm not taking no mark from the government. I'm not doing that. No.
It wouldn't be actually ran by the government though.
If I get kidnapped, Naya will know who did it, so they'll find
It
it.
wouldn't actually be ran by the government though. They're trying to create the process of this chip was supposed to be creating a whole entire new currency.
That's what the Bible says, a one world government.
Okay, that's it. That's a wrap. That's a wrap. I can't.
Mommy.
It's a wrap.
Oh, come on. You can deal with it a little bit.
That's a wrap. I can't. I really can't. Look, he leaving.
Cat done left.
Save the cat.
Was that it? I ain't want to interrupt. I'm sorry. I toned out. Oh yeah, what's
My friends say you a trip mine.
Okay, this has been Talk Lately. I think, all right, I'm going through this list. I think everybody, Lindsay Marie on the phone. I'm going to do it with my pen, the thing. Aldo Andre Liggins. Nate Cowser, the host of the Artist Exchange.
Did you have to give my whole
Naya. This is Naya's second week. Welcome, Naya. Lasha, before we go, though, talk about your new show.
Oh, Heart of Truth. So I have a new show. It's called Heart of Truth. I interview pastors. So I'm going to give you the backstory. For the most part, they say I'm a bit harsh. Yeah, I got stuck.
Yeah.
I got stuck again. Yeah. So
It's just sometimes to get 5G. That's all that is.
There we need the
That's what
5G.
and you know what? I got the Ethernet connected to the laptop too. I'm done. Verizon Fios will be here tomorrow morning. They're on their way.
Who do you
I'm
have? Who do you with?
Xfinity, and I'm over it.
What's oh, I don't know. Look,
I'm over it.
That's the funny part about it is I got 5 computers all on my Xfinity Wi-Fi.
Me too.
No.
All of this is
Well, I
running.
have two.
All
I
of this
have-
is running
It
on
might
my
be
Wi-Fi.
Maybe it's this
Yeah,
area,
mine's
but
running on
this-
Wi-Fi too.
It is horrible.
They're
Don't
pumping it
go
up.
back to
They're
my
pumping
Fios.
it up because they want you to buy into that 5G.
Whatever.
Just got internet, and it's messing up.
All right, let Lasha finish telling us about her show. Were you done?
Oh yeah, so they told me that I'm a bit harsh.
Your pastors
I'm
did?
Yeah, my pastor said
Well,
that
I
I
want
was a
you to
bit
be
harsh.
glowy, but you're talking about from the show that I listened to. You were talking about some serious stuff. So, why was
Yeah, I mean, but they say that I'm really tough on the church, and it doesn't really come off well, very receptive from the pastors.
Right, but see, that's
So-
the thing. That's the problem. They want you to be
Oh,
glowy
please.
about a church. If the church has problems or you have inconsistencies in your story, then you need to hear the outside.
And this
See,
is
now
what
I'm hanging
the
up,
truth is.
Monty.
Say that again.
But no, Lindsay Marie, really, this is why we have Heart of Truth, so that
No,
That's
I
why I
wanna
like the
watch it. I
topic.
wanna
That's why I
watch
like
it.
the
I wanna
name.
watch.
I actually like
I
that
wanna
name.
watch.
So
Please.
I always have a pastor to be the buffer, so it's not just my perspective going left and right. We always take it back to the scripture, but we talk about the issues. We talk about what people see, why people
Okay.
don't like the church, why people don't want to come into church.
Mm-hmm.
We give the church the opportunity to respond, and we can get better together.
Perfect.
So-
Wonderful. I would definitely support that.
That sounds good to me.
Now,
Yeah,
I have a show coming out called the El Marie Element. Naya's going to be my co-host, and the first episode we're doing is a lowdown on the down low.
Oh, girl.
Ooh.
That's the first show we're doing.
Didn't we do that
tune
last
in.
week? Didn't we do that last week?
Yes, we did. We exposed. We had some down low stuff, but we're going to really get deep with the down low on this show. Deep with it in the Black community. I'm having a down low person come on with his voice distorted.
His
I'm
face
having
gonna
an
be, his face
openly
gonna be
gay man
distorted.
come
Okay,
on.
that's what I
I'm
thought.
having a young lady that's dealt with somebody on the down low. So we're really going to get down into the down low and, sexuality in the Black community and homosexuality in the Black community and masculinity.
Okay.
Oh, I'm gonna like this.
So you guys make sure that you tune in
We will. That sounds
and
good.
make sure you call and comment.
Gotcha.
All right. Yeah, I'm definitely.
I got comments. I'm not lost for words.
Okay. And anybody else out there listening, if they got a comment, call in, text us, whatever.
All right.
All right,
Damn,
so
I need my
all right, it's almost 9:00, so I'm gonna wrap this up. Coming up next, which is tomorrow, Wednesday, we have I guess I should call it the season premiere, Nate. The season premiere of Living a Rich Life with Rich James. He's back.
Who?
Rich James.
Living
not
a Rich
Rick.
Life with Rich James.
Not
Oh,
Rick.
Rich James.
Rich.
Got you. Okay.
Rich James.
Rich James.
So he's back with a new season, and I think we already talked about Skyline. Skyline season finale was last week, so they're not back until whenever. So that's
Who
it,
else
you
we got?
guys. Thank you. So that was a great show. I'll be back next week. I mean, where am I going? Good night.
Oh man.